And I would like to start off by, first of all, I think most of you know each other, but you don't know us. So first of all, I'm Sheila Story, and I am the co-chair of the Neighbors Committee. And they asked me to be on this committee as the chairman. And the next to me,
I am Michelle Bashan. I am also on the Health and Human Services Committee as well as admin. So I will be your vice chair. I am a first term supervisor with District 11. Prior to being elected, I did actually work for the county for 5 years. So I do know a little bit about what goes on.
you. And I actually have been on the county board since 2004, except for a term where I needed to be a caregiver to my husband. So I'm very familiar with the ADRC as a result of my husband, and he passed away this past September of dementia. So I utilize the services through the ADRC. So I am glad to be a part of this committee. And could I ask the rest of you to go around and maybe share with us who you are and which committee you're on? Can I start with you?
Sorry.
Now I remember. I'm Maria Butkowski, and I am on the Nutrition Committee and the ADRC Committee. And I did work for several years for the Meals on Wheels program as one of the site managers at Tantera. And they do a wonderful job. Bernie's great, and holy cow, the number of meals they do. But now I just enjoy being able to support the county by participating.
I think you actually delivered to my house maybe once or
That
twice.
could be.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Charlotte Lee, and I don't know if I'm on a subcommittee. Am I Bernie? I don't think so. I work at Stepping Stones on Wednesdays. So
Okay, Charlotte, you're just on the ADRC. You're not on the
That's what I thought.
transportation or the nutrition.
Yeah.
I'm Carol Kadinger, and I think I'm on both.
Yep.
Okay.
Carol, yes, you are on nutrition and ADRC, correct?
I'm Betty Zimi, and I'm on the Dunn County Nutrition Advisory Council.
Okay, and Bernie Allen, and I manage a nutrition program, and we're going to discuss this briefly today, but my title recently changed to Aging and Transportation Programs Manager, so adding some responsibility. But I've been here as the nutrition program manager for about 4 years, or nutrition program coordinator, excuse me.
I'm Dave Bartlett. I'm on the ADRC. Olson, ARDC.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your introducing yourselves. And with that, that would be the call of the roll. So I'm actually going to ask, according to my notes here, Margie Hageman was reappointed to be part of this committee, and Sherry Homestead.
I think those notes are old. But there's a few folks that need to be asked to be part of the committee again. So
They were approved this past Wednesday.
Oh.
So we may want to get that straightened out.
yes, I will check into that.
Okay.
That sounds great.
So we'll get that all worked out for next time. Okay, great. And with that, we would go to the minutes, and I would ask those of you that were probably here for the last meeting, if anybody would give me a motion for the minutes approval. I appreciate it.
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes as printed.
Thank you, Ms. Bartlett. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Olson. It's been moved and seconded. Any corrections, additions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you very much. I don't see anyone here for public comment unless there is somebody that I'm not aware of.
And there's been none submitted virtually or online.
Perfect. Thank you. Upcoming meeting date and time should be noted as July 15th, 2024 at 1 o'clock in this room. Okay. I hope that works for everyone. And then we will now go to staff reports. And it looks like nutrition report is first.
Was that July 15th or July 24th?
July 15th
15th, sorry.
at 1.
Is that for both the ADRC and the nutrition? Because the notes are saying September 15th.
That's correct. Nutrition program, the nutrition report is only every other ADRC meeting. So the ADRC advisory committee will be on July 15th and the nutrition committee advisory will next meet in September.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, and then I will go ahead and provide some updates. So there was a few things on the agenda. We just recently, at the end of April, completed our pet food grant, which was through Meals on Wheels America. We were given a check for $3,000 to spend on pet food for our participants. And so we'd sent out information and we were able to provide quite a bit of pet food. It did go a long way, and I still, at the very end, I still have a few bags of dog food, but anyhow, we distributed to right around 62 participants with about 80, that accounting for about 89 pets. And when you submit the grant at the end, Meals on Wheels America has this kind of formula you throw in there, and basically it was about 80. They consider that 8,600 pet meals. They kind of do the math for you, but it was well received. You know, people were very happy to you know, especially with the increased costs for pet food. So we were able to provide quite a bit of pet food. So that just wrapped up recently. And then the next thing on the list, there's an annual program. It's called the Senior Farmers Market Voucher Program statewide. And we receive a kind of a number of vouchers each summer that we distribute to seniors who qualify. So basically the program is designed for individuals who are 60 years of age or older. And then we do have there is an income limit also on that program. It's based on household size. So anyone that's interested in the vouchers would contact me or the ADRC, and then we just kind of ask those questions about age and income. There's a brief form, and then the participants receive a booklet. And this year, it happens to be $45 worth of coupons that they could use at certain farmers markets for vendors who are enrolled in the program. Last year, it was $35. Year before that, it was 25. So it's really increased quite a bit each year. And it used to be one booklet per household, and now it's per individual. So it's been very nice. So now if there's a couple that comes in and they're within that income limit and the age, then they can receive 2 booklets. And so that program is popular, and they increased the amount of booklets that Dunn County received by 15% compared to last year. So we'll be receiving 154 of those booklets. Yeah. So,
That
yeah,
really helps the farmers.
it does.
or
Yes.
People, the
and
vendors.
Right. And there's certain, I don't know how it works on the vendor side, other than they apply and they probably have some questions about where they're producing the food to make sure it's local and that type of thing. But yeah, it's, I mean, and I know there've been comments about, hey, are they going to increase it, year to year? Because there's a couple of years where it remained $25, and as time went on, that obviously had less purchasing power. But now it's kind of kept up, which is nice. So yeah, the June 1st, it was actually a weekend. So the first day for distribution will be June 3rd, and so that usually is a busy time when everybody wants to get there. And last year we actually we sent out all the vouchers that we had, and then we were able to request for some additional. So we didn't have to turn anyone away. There was a slight delay at the end, but a lot of times the things that people want to purchase aren't even at the market right away in June.
Bernie, do all vendors at the market take them?
No.
Okay.
No.
Cause that was one thing I ran into. I went and picked up cash only.
Yeah,
I showed them the vendor and they said, we don't take paper.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's a state program, and every year, and actually the individual who runs it just sent me, they try to update me as much as they can about markets in Dunn County. Where there's vendors that accept them. So it's kind of always changing. They do have to, I mean, there is some steps that the vendor has to take to be approved. So I have to look at it closely, but I know in Menominee, there's at least a few. And can't remember where else. They sent me a list. Where was it in Colfax you were? Oh, okay, yeah. Some of them.
Nice if they put a sign up, senior vouchers approved.
Some do. Because I've seen it. It's like a little symbol, and maybe they're not all really diligent about that. But we have some outreach events at the market, and I've seen a couple people with those signs up. But yeah, I know there's some people that say, well, I like to get items from a certain vendor who has maybe bread or some other things like that, and they usually I think they have to be offering some type of produce, but I'm not 100% certain. But yeah. So, but there are, I mean, everybody that I have talked to directly said they were able to find someone that's maybe have to go with their second choice as far as what they normally would get at the market, because some of the people there I know have candles and things like that. And yeah, so yeah, that's exciting time for everybody to get those, because then that pretty much once you have those vouchers, it's just like using cash at the market.
Right.
So yeah, but they of course have to accept it. So, and then I have some just kind of an update as far as we've been through the first quarter of 2024, and so I have some numbers about what's been going on, and like as Maria mentioned, we do stay busy, especially compared to years past and prior to the pandemic. It really hasn't gone down at all. But so in January of this year, in total meals, so this would be for home delivered and for our congregate, and we do have a few carry out meals as well. But it'd be 2,881 meals. And if we compare that to 2023, that was 2,578. Of course, I think last year we might have had at least one snow day in January, so the numbers are can be skewed a little bit due to that, because I know in March we had one snow day this year. So, and then anyhow, in February we distributed 2,930 meals. And then February of last year, it was 2,508. And then in March of 2024, we distributed 2,757 meals. And then last year in March, 3,136. And I know we had one day where we couldn't deliver this year, but and then I know Sheila and I were actually talking just recently, and since we have some new individuals here, I can kind of give a little bit of an outline. So we have a meal site in Menominee at the Tantera apartment complex, which is right near Marketplace Foods on Heller Road. And that's where all of our routes, local in Menominee and others, we distribute out of there. So our volunteers will meet there during the day around lunchtime and deliver. We have 3 routes in Menominee. We also deliver to Knapp, Wisconsin, 2 days a week. And then we have another rural route that they're also packed out there. And then we have another meal site in Menominee at the Hosford Ridge Apartments, kind of a smaller site, but we have meals delivered there, and that's usually for people that live there are receiving those meals. And then we have a meal site in Colfax at the Grapevine Senior Center, and then they have dine-in Monday through Thursday, and then we have deliveries in Colfax, and then we have someone that delivers from Colfax out into the northern parts of the county, Wheeler, Boyceville area, Tainter Lake area. And then we have restaurant sites in Ridgeland. We have one at the Dairyland Cafe where seniors can come in, and that's actually been fairly busy this year compared to some other years. And then we do have a few home delivered meals out of that site as well. And then we have a restaurant site in in Sand Creek at the Sand Creek Cafe there. And it's not utilized as much as the other restaurant site, but they do serve meal. And at the restaurant sites, it's Monday through Friday, and it's not a specific time frame, but they have a system set up where our seniors check in and then order a certain meal. Usually they have a daily special or two, and they can order kind of basically it's a smaller size. It's still a good serving size. But let's see, am I missing anything? So then, yeah, O'Galley, we've had a site in O'Galley, which closed because the town sold the civic center there in O'Galley, and someone bought it and they're turning it into some type of business. But they did build a new building. However, I don't know what the future will hold for O'Galley, because some of the people that were attending there, we had it open for 2 days a week, and it was a fairly small site. Anytime sometimes it's 4 or 6 people approximately, but a few of those individuals are now on home delivered meals, and so they're still receiving meals, and their ability to kind of get out and about has been reduced. So I don't know what, and I haven't been down to visit the new building, but right now there just isn't. And we were kind of trying to see before they sold that building to see if there was any other interest in the area for people to come and dine. So, but anyhow, so right now that area is serviced via home delivered meals. Same thing with Downsville and Rock Falls. So yeah, that's kind of the program in a nutshell. And then all of the home delivered meals and the in-town congregate meals that I mentioned, and at Colfax as well, they're all prepared in the kitchen at the University of Dunn County. And then they're kind of shipped out by 2 different individuals to Colfax and Menominee area. And then they're packaged up at our meal sites.
How's your staffing?
Pretty good, knock on wood. Yeah, no, yeah, we've got, I mean, we're fortunate because of the nature of our program. A lot of people that do, work for us or volunteer for us for that matter, are devoted to the program. They know they're doing it, a service to the community. We always are kind of in need, I should say we are always in need for drivers, for volunteer drivers. We are able to fill it. Like I actually drove today. I fill in and we just make it work, but it kind of goes up and down, but we would never turn any volunteers away for driving. But our actual staff, so we have each meal site has an accounting employee, a part-time employee, and then volunteers that help out. So, but the staff right now is good.
And you coordinate that then yourself? You make sure you've got all your drivers? That's kind of something you do, or do you have someone else doing that?
Well, I work with all of our drivers and completed orientation, does a background checks, some forms, but the actual, like at the site is where they have the route book where they would have the volunteers. Okay. Usually what happens is in the past, more so, people would say, well, I can deliver this week, this month, and then, but people do want to have more flexibility and it might deliver like 3 days, 1 week. So we just kind of try to fill it in the best we can with who's available type thing. But yeah, that information is actually at the site. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, does anybody else have any questions? Okay.
Bernie, about the community garden, are you over that, or you the right one to ask about it? The community
You
garden,
mean to use produce from the community garden
or to be able to plant and I hear there's a long list of people who want to use it. Is that true?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Are
Okay.
you referring to the jail? The one the jail does? The garden the jail?
No,
It's a different garden?
9th Street, is it 9th Street?
Ninth
9th
Street.
Street.
Okay.
I heard that it's a waiting list. I don't know how long it is.
I think that is right, but that's not I'm not sure what group oversees that. It's not us in the ADRC though.
Oh.
I'm not sure who does the community garden.
No, I will just say I garden at the community garden. They just expanded this year and added more plots. Last I heard, everybody on the wait list got a plot. But it is a directed board that runs that.
When did that happen? Because I just heard a couple weeks ago that there was a long waiting list, that some
The-
people are still trying to get on.
The expansion happened this year and they opened up plots, and at the
And
last meeting we had, they said everybody that was on the list got a.
Really?
I think some of them were no-till, though.
All
only
the new
thing that
ones
was
are
still
no-till.
left was no-till.
Mhm.
And some people are not able to, or interested in
that.
starting in the
Okay.
no-till area.
All right.
But that's not something that Bernie, you are part of. You don't get produce from there or have. people-
And who does run that?
It's a board that of volunteers that they have a website, menominee-communitygarden.com.
Thank you.
It's all volunteer led.
And there's Tuesday meetings once a month, aren't there?
Yep.
In the evening at the
Okay.
senior center.
All right. Thank you.
Brenda, the only other question I have is you've got Tuesday's table, Thursday's table, and you've got a lot of people that utilize those programs as well. Do you find that at your restaurant sites that you also have people that are homeless and people that are in need that come to those sites as well for food? They're a crossover?
No,
No issue?
not that I mean, the two restaurant sites are, very small communities, of
Okay.
course, but, not that I'm aware of. We've had actually only one situation where we've had someone that was temporarily homeless, that was picking up meals and they had a vehicle, that's individual had a vehicle, and they were picking up meals at Tantera. But, otherwise, no. Yeah.
Wondered if maybe there were some multiple pickups by certain individuals that might wanna.
No, but there certainly could be. We try to be as flexible as possible. I mean, there's been some, like when people were dealing with COVID, there was some isolated issues where we would, they couldn't, get out and we didn't want to,
Mhm.
so we would drop off like a week's worth of meals or thereabouts for a short time to help them out. But yeah, those are more on a case by case basis. Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. And you have, now what I've noticed, and it's very informal today, but I think we need to back up because it appears, I thought that there was a meeting after a meeting.
Mm.
And that your meeting was after this other meeting, but I'm seeing that looking at two sets of minutes here, that there's two sets of minutes and you're on both of those agendas. So I'm wondering if we may want to combine them or what we might want to do, because we haven't approved your minutes from last time yet. Any suggestions?
I see what you're saying.
Yep. We can talk about that, Sheila. When I followed the format that Chris Corpola always used to do these meetings, but that doesn't mean that that can't change.
Oh, I don't have a problem not being
Yeah,
formal.
But we probably need to go back. We probably need to go ahead and approve Bernie's minutes right now. So, just to make sure that, that is done. So
We approved the nutrition process.
And you are?
Suzanne Gaines, hi.
Hi, Suzanne. I'm Sheila Story. This is Michelle. There a second?
I second.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Thank you for getting that cleaned up. And then Bernie, I think your next thing on your list, if I look at the two agendas together here, you talked about your pet food grant complete, which is on the second agenda. Your nutrition report, you've talked about that. You talked about the senior farmers market voucher program that's on your second agenda. Did you have anything else that you wanted to bring up as part of the nutrition report?
No, not really. No, that was, that's kind of but yeah, I see what you're saying. So that's basically what I have listed under my agenda for the Nutrition Advisory Council. Yeah.
Okay. Then we will move on to, we do have under this agenda, a reclassification of the nutrition coordinator position.
And I will speak to that. So as I reported at our last meeting, we were moving forward with reclassifying Bernie's position. His former title was nutrition coordinator. And as I had explained at that time, we had gotten some additional base, an increase in our base funding from the state. And one of the changes that I was making was suggesting that Bernie's be reclassified as the Aging and Transportation Programs Manager. So I'm happy to report that that was approved by the county board, and that officially went into effect at the end of April for Bernie. So we are in the midst of training. It's going to be probably at least a year process because there's a lot of grant work and that sort of thing that only happens at certain times of the year. So I intended to continue working with Bernie on some of the transfers of those sorts of duties and continue to work alongside of him for some time to kind of make those things. But that first step has happened. Bernie's position was approved, and we are all very excited about that. So yay, congratulations, Bernie. So yes.
And we got a salary increase, I hope.
Yes, that was approved as well. So very grateful to the county board for that, and also grateful to our legislators at the state level who approved that funding increase for ADRCs with the last budget that went through. So very exciting.
Any other questions or input or anything with regards to that? Next, we have advocacy event opportunity.
Yes, I have a couple of things for committee members. I've printed out some flyers.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but do we close out the nutrition meeting? I'm not on the ADRC meetings.
So, yeah, Betty,
Just on the
your portion
nutrition.
is your portion is taken care of. So you're free to stay or go, whichever you would like to do. So yes. Yes, thanks, Betty.
Thank you, Betty.
So one of the focuses that our state level ADRC BADER, who I've talked about before, the Bureau of Aging and Disability Resource that oversees all ADRCs across the state. One of their focuses for the next 2 years really is on advocacy on behalf of ADRCs and the needs of of the folks that we serve. So one of their asks at one of our recent meetings was that we organize at a local level opportunities for listening sessions for our state legislators specifically focused on issues related to the folks that we serve. So in our area, myself and the ADRC directors of Chippewa and Eau Claire County, we have quite a good working relationship. We are holding a listening session for legislators in our area. I do have flyers that I'll give to all of you, so please share all of this information. But it will be held on Monday, June 24th at 1 p.m. at 29 Pines. We figured that was a fairly central location for all three counties. So far, Senator Jesse James has responded that he will be in attendance. We've contacted both state senators and assembly members. We are waiting for answers for some others. I believe some may be sending their aides instead of themselves attending, but our focus for these although it's a listening session, so honestly, folks can bring up whatever they choose to, but the way that we're kind of publicizing this is that we're hoping to talk about topics like Meals on Wheels, transportation, and ADRC programming. Again, it will be open for any folks to discuss whatever their needs happen to be, but this is kind of one of our advocacy areas, is just to try to organize events where people have the ability to meet with their state legislators in a local format. So I'm just going to pass those around. If you would take them, that would be wonderful. We'd appreciate if you have time to attend. It would be amazing. There is a Leslie from Chippewa County is our the person who's collecting all of the folks who are coming. The more people we have from our area, my understanding is the more likely it is that our assembly folks will be willing to attend. So once we have attendees from different assembly districts, we'll be connecting with those assembly members and letting them know that they have constituents that will be in attendance. So if you have time, or even if you don't, if you can share this with others that you know, we would love to have you. We are going to have some snacks. It's going to be pretty small snacks, not a whole meal or anything like that. But like I said, appreciate any attendance that you folks would have. The second thing I have is just a flyer, and you could take these, again, share them if you come across billboards that notice you don't have them. We are having the Dunn and Chippewa County ADRCs, I think we've talked about before, we do have a combined position. Carla Burscheit, our dementia care specialist, serves both Dunn and Chippewa counties. So this is both for Dunn and Chippewa counties, but we are funding a program. This is a nationally known, it's won quite a few national awards. It's a video called Wine, Women, and Dementia, and it is mostly focused on the caregiving journey and especially focused on female caregivers, although there are men who are caregivers too, and the struggles that they face. It's a beautifully done documentary. I highly recommend it. Trying to watch it, even if it's not at one of these events. But we are having 2 showings of it in Dunn County, one in Menominee, one in Sand Creek, and then there will be 2 showings of it in Chippewa County, one in Bloomer and one in Chippewa Falls. You'll see this, the Chippewa Falls one, there is a charge for because Micon Cinemas is holding it, and they were willing to let us use the space, but they do charge their ticket price for that. All the others are free. We will be providing popcorn and snacks, but movie type popcorn, but also again, appreciate getting the word out on that. I think it's going to be a phenomenal event. And if any of you have chance to come to it, I think you would, it's very eye-opening and very interesting film. So I'll pass those out as well. Any questions for me? Yes, Maria.
I know I was able to attend and you were there too, Tracy, that the Chippewa Valley Learning
Retirement, yep.
Experience in March, and that was incredibly well attended.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, there were a lot of people there.
Right.
So there was absolutely a lot of interest in having a forum to be able to address questions to legislators.
Just for any of the other folks who attended that CVLR, I was in attendance too. That was much more, you had to submit your question in writing, and it was extremely well done. I wish Margie was here actually, because Margie Hageman, another of our committee members, was the facilitator of that. This will be much more of a traditional listening session where people will actually have the ability to just raise their hand and ask questions. So that's how we are being kind of guided by our folks at the state level, how these should be correctly held in the districts that they're being held at. So again, we're hoping to kind of preface this by saying that the focus of these sessions are related to aging topics and ADRC related consumers, but we could have all sorts of folks that come because we are advertising it widely. So very hopeful that it's well attended, and that we have, like I said, just Senator James has confirmed attendance, and we're hoping to get more folks confirming this week. So,
Excuse me, where will it be in Menominee?
so that event will be at 29 Pines, Charlotte. 29 Pines is the address is on there. It's how do I explain where that is? It's right on Highway 29. It's like the big
Junction of T and
the junction of T and 29. It's like I don't know. It's a truck stop. I don't know. That's FedEx truck stop, and they have like a big meeting room. But because it's the 3 counties that are supporting it, that's a real central meeting point. And we've had other events there that have been convenient for, all the, Dunn, Chippewa, and Eau Claire counties. So.
But the 29 Pines ones, it's this one?
Right.
Right.
The wine,
Rossbach is-
were you asking about the wine? Oh, the Wine, Women, and Dementia in Menominee, it's going to be at the Rossbach. Yes. Sorry, Charlotte. I probably just confused you right there. Sorry about that.
Now we all know where 29 Palms is.
Okay, good. Yes.
Do you have anything else?
That's all I have.
That's all you have?
Yeah.
And we do not appear to have anything in terms of resolutions. or actions that we need to take care of. So unless someone else has an announcement,
I have a comment.
okay.
I was talking to a single mother who's disabled who went into the ADRC office for tax help. And she could not say enough about how wonderful everyone was. She said they actually welcomed me. They were kind, and I don't know who is the head of this, but she said she was absolutely wonderful. And just the whole experience. She wasn't used to that, sad to say, some of the other places she's gone for help. But I just wanted to pass that along, that it's great for me to hear that too.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
Carol, I will pass that on. So in our office, Denise Kiso, who I think everyone who comes through the ADRC doors knows, she's our program assistant and she's our receptionist. That is actually her program. She heads up the tax help services that we have every year. The folks that provide the actual tax help are retired members of the tax community, and they volunteer on the behalf of AARP.
And what's
So
her first name?
Denise Keys.
Denise.
She's the gal who answers the phone. She's the gal at the front desk. But she heads that. She runs that program. She sets all the scheduling. But the volunteers that we also have from AARP, they are absolutely wonderful and phenomenal. And we've had the same folks who have done it for a number of years, and they really do an excellent job. But I will pass that on to Denise because that will make her feel really good. So we love to hear positive. I mean, we always want to hear if somebody's having an issue so that we can fix it, but it's nice to hear the positives too. So thank you.
Anyone else? We are adjourned. And we will get this meeting stuff straightened out for next time, as well as who are the members and of what. So mhm.